What if I told you that your morning coffee, the same one you've been drinking for decades, could become the most powerful muscle building tool in your kitchen? I'm not talking about expensive protein powders or complicated supplements. I'm talking about simple additions that cost pennies that transform your regular coffee into a muscle rebuilding powerhouse that works even while you're sitting in your favorite chair. If you're over 60 and watching your muscles disappear faster than your retirement savings, if getting up from a low chair feels like an Olympic event, or if you've noticed your arms looking more like deflated balloons than the strong limbs they used to be, then stop everything and listen. Because what I'm about to share isn't just another health fad. This is backed by research from Harvard, Johns Hopkins, and studies involving thousands of people just like you who rebuilt their strength without stepping foot in a gym. The harsh reality nobody wants to discuss at your doctor's appointments. After 60, you're in a biological war against muscle loss, and your losing is called sarcopenia, and it's stealing 3 to 8% of your muscle mass every single decade. By 70, you've lost so much muscle that simple tasks become monumental challenges. Opening a jar becomes a two-person job. Carrying groceries leaves you exhausted. Up from the toilet becomes something you have to plan for. Your doctor tells you to exercise more. But here's what they don't understand. When your muscles are already weak, when your joints already hurt, when you're already exhausted just from daily living, telling you to lift weights is like telling someone with broken legs to run a marathon. You need to rebuild from the inside out at the cellular level. And that's exactly what certain compounds in coffee can do when you combine them with the right additions. Coffee isn't just a wake-up drink, it's a complex brew of over 1,000 bioactive compounds, many of which directly impact muscle preservation and growth. But on its own, coffee is like having a Ferrari engine without the right fuel. Add the right ingredients and suddenly you've activated pathways in your body that can literally reverse age-related muscle loss. I'm going to show you exactly what to add, when to drink it, and why this works even if you can't exercise. Let's talk about what coffee is already doing for your muscles that you probably don't know about. Coffee contains chlorogenic acid, which improves insulin sensitivity in your muscle cells. Why does this matter? Because insulin is like a key that unlocks your muscle cells to let nutrients in. As you age, your muscles become insulin resistant, basically changing the locks so nutrients can't get in. Muscles are literally starving even when you eat plenty of protein. Coffee helps pick those locks. Coffee also triggers the release of something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. This isn't just important for your brain. It's crucial for maintaining the connection between your nerves and muscles. When this connection weakens, your muscles atrophy, not because the muscle tissue is damaged, but because the signals aren't getting through. It's like having a perfectly good television that's not plugged in. Coffee helps maintain that plug. But here's where it gets really interesting. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen found that coffee consumption before protein intake increased muscle protein synthesis by 48% compared to protein alone. Think about that. Nearly 50% better muscle building just by timing your coffee right and adding the right ingredients. That's what we're going to harness today. The first addition that transforms your coffee into a muscle building elixir is collagen peptides. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't collagen for skin? Yes. But here's what the beauty industry doesn't want you to know. Collagen makes up 10% of your muscle tissue, and it's the scaffolding that holds your muscle fibers together. Without adequate collagen, your muscles literally fall apart at the structural level, but it goes even deeper than that. Collagen is also crucial for the tendons that connect your muscles to bones. When these tendons weaken from collagen loss, your muscles can't effectively transfer their power to movement, making you feel weaker than you actually are. After 60, your natural collagen production has dropped by over 50%. And by 70, you're producing 75% less than you did at 30. Your body is trying to maintain muscle with half the building materials it needs. It's like trying to build a house with half the lumber. Adding collagen peptides to your coffee provides those missing materials, but more importantly, it provides them in a form your body can immediately use. The peptides are predigested, meaning they're already broken down into chains of 2 to 3 amino acids that can be absorbed directly through your intestinal wall without further processing. Here's what makes collagen peptides special when added to coffee. The heat of the coffee actually improves their absorption. The peptides are already broken down into smaller chains that your digestive system can easily process. but the warmth of coffee opens up your digestive tract's absorption channels even wider. Studies show that collagen peptides consumed in hot liquid are absorbed 40% more efficiently than in cold. Additionally, coffee's natural acidity pH of about 5 actually helps break down the peptides even further, making them even more bioavailable. Let me tell you about Robert from Arizona. He's 68 years old, retired electrician. His grip strength had gotten so weak he couldn't open his own pill bottles. His wife had to help him with everything. He started adding 2 scoops of collagen peptides to his morning coffee. Nothing else changed. He didn't exercise, didn't change his diet. After 6 weeks, he could not only open pill bottles, he was back to doing small electrical repairs around the house. His doctor tested his grip strength. It had increased by 12 lob of pressure. But here's what's really interesting. His joint pain, which he hadn't even mentioned to me, initially had decreased by about 50%. The collagen was not only rebuilding muscle tissue, but also cushioning his joints. The specific type of collagen matters immensely. You want hydrated collagen peptides, type 1 and 3. These are the types found in muscle tissue. Type Y makes up 90% of your body's collagen and is crucial for muscle structure. While type 3 is found in the fascia that surrounds and supports your muscles, some products also include type 2 collagen, which is primarily for joints. But for muscle building, types 1 and 3 are essential. Add 10 to 15 g to your coffee. That's about 1 to 2 scoops of most brands. It dissolves completely, has virtually no taste, and actually makes your coffee slightly creamier. Start with 1 scoop and work up to 2 over a week or so to let your digestive system adjust. Some people experience mild bloating initially, which typically resolves within a few days. But here's a secret that makes collagen work even better: vitamin C. Your body needs vitamin C to synthesize collagen properly. Without it, you're just consuming expensive protein. Specifically, vitamin C is required for the hydroxylation of proline and lysine, 2 amino acids that are essential for collagen formation. Add a squeeze of lemon to your coffee. After it cools slightly to about 145, or take a 500 mg vitamin C supplement with your coffee. This simple addition can double the effectiveness of the collagen peptides. Some advanced users add a pinch of copper-rich cacao powder, as copper is another co-actor in collagen synthesis that most people over 60 are deficient in. Addition is MCT oil, which stands for medium-chain triglycerides. This isn't just any fat. This is rocket fuel for your muscles. While everyone's focused on protein for muscle building, they're missing a crucial fact: your muscles need energy to use that protein. And MCT oil provides instant usable energy that goes directly to your muscle cells. Unlike long-chain fats that take 3 to 4 hours to digest, MCTs are absorbed within 30 minutes and immediately available for use. Here's what happens when you add MCT oil to your coffee. It bypasses your normal digestive process and goes straight to your liver via the portal vein, where it's converted into ketones. These ketones are like premium fuel for your muscles. They provide 3 times more energy per unit than glucose, and your aging muscles prefer them. It's like switching from regular gas to jet fuel. But here's what most people don't know. Collagens also spare muscle protein from being broken down for energy. When your body has ketones available, it doesn't need to cannibalize your own muscle tissue for fuel during periods of low food intake or stress. But MCT oil does something even more important for people over 60. It triggers the release of growth hormone. Yes, the same growth hormone that declines dramatically with age. A study from Japan found that consuming MCT oil increased growth hormone levels by up to 160% in older adults. This isn't synthetic hormone replacement. This is your own body producing more of what it needs to build muscle. The mechanism works through gene stimulation. MCT oil triggers the release of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, which in turn stimulates growth hormone release from the pituitary gland. This is why some people feel hungrier after MCT oil, which is actually a good sign that it's working. I want to share the story of Patricia from Minnesota. She's 71 and was so weak she couldn't carry her cat's litter box. Her daughter was about to hire a home health aide. Patricia started adding 1 type of MCT oil to her morning coffee. Within 3 weeks, she noticed she wasn't getting winded walking upstairs. After 2 months, she was carrying not just the litter box, but doing all her grocery shopping without using the cart for support. Her muscle mass measured by DEXA scan had increased by 3% without any exercise. What the DEXA scan also showed was a 5% decrease in body fat. The MCT oil was helping her body recomposition, building muscle while losing fat simultaneously. Start with 1 teaspoon of MCT oil in your coffee and gradually increase to 1 tablespoon over 2 weeks. Important. Too much too fast will upset your stomach, a phenomenon called disaster pants in the keto community. MCT oil makes your coffee creamy and gives it a slightly sweet taste without any sugar. It also helps your body absorb fats, soluble vitamins, making every nutrient you consume more effective. Specifically, it enhances the absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K, all of which play roles in muscle health and recovery. The best type of MCT oil contains primarily C8 capric acid and C10 capric acid. These are the MCTs that convert most efficiently to ketones. C8 converts to ketones within 30 minutes and provides the quickest energy boost, while C10 takes about an hour but provides more sustained energy. Avoid MCT oils that are mostly C12 lauric acid, as this doesn't provide the same muscle-building benefits and acts more like a regular long-chain fat. Look for C8, C10, and CT oil on the label. Some premium brands offer pure C8 oil, which is more expensive, but provides maximum ketone production for muscle building. Specifically, a 60-40 blend of C8 to C10 is ideal. Now, we come to what might be the most powerful addition of all, creatine monohydrate. If you think creatine is just for bodybuilders, you're about to discover why it might be the most important supplement for anyone over 60. Creatine isn't a steroid or a drug. It's a compound your body naturally produces, but production drops by 50% after age 60. Your muscles normally contain about 120 mg per kilogram creatine, but in older adults, this drops to about 60 to 80 mg per kilogram, directly correlating with strength loss. Creatine works by increasing the phosphocreatine stores in your muscles. Think of phosphocreatine as the battery backup for your muscles. Muscles need quick energy for any movement. From standing up to opening a door, they use phosphocreatine first. Fuss system provides energy for the first 10-15 seconds of any activity. When your stores are low, every movement feels harder. When they're full, you feel stronger instantly. But creatine does more than just provide energy. It also increases cell volumization, pulling water into muscle cells, which triggers protein synthesis and reduces protein breakdown. Here's the shocking research. A study from McMaster University followed adults over 65 who took 5 g of creatine daily in their morning beverage. After 12 weeks with no exercise program, they showed an average increase in muscle mass of 3.3 lbs and improved their chair stand test by 30%. These people literally got stronger sitting in their chairs. But here's what the study didn't highlight in the abstract. Participants also showed improved cognitive function with 20% better scores on memory tests. Creatine doesn't just feed your muscles, it feeds your brain too, as your brain uses 20% of your body's creatine stores. The beauty of adding creatine to coffee is that the caffeine actually enhances creatine uptake into your muscles. The slight insulin response from coffee helps shuttle creatine into muscle cells more effectively than taking it with water. Plus, the warmth of coffee helps it dissolve completely, improving absorption. Research from Belgium found that taking creatine with caffeine and carbohydrates increased muscle creatine stores by 60% more than creatine alone. The coffee provides the caffeine, and if you add a teaspoon of raw honey, you've got the perfect creatine delivery system. Let me tell you about George from Texas, 74 years old. He was considering selling his house because he couldn't maintain the yard anymore. Too weak to push the lawnmower, couldn't lift bags of soil. He started adding 5 g of creatine to his morning coffee. 6 weeks later, he mowed his entire lawn without stopping. 3 months later, he built raised garden bed by himself. His son couldn't believe the transformation. But here's the detail George shared with me later. His chronic fatigue, which he attributed to aging, completely disappeared. He was waking up refreshed and maintaining energy throughout the day, something he hadn't experienced in over a decade. Add 5 g of creatine monohydrate to your coffee. That's about 1 teaspoon. It's tasteless, odorless, and dissolves completely in hot liquid. Take it every single day, even on days you don't drink coffee. Consistency is key. Your muscles need to build up their creatine stores, which takes about 4 weeks to reach saturation. Don't fall for expensive special creatines like buffered creatine or creatine HCl. Plain creatine monohydrate is the most researched and most effective. It's also the cheapest, about 10 cents per serving compared to $1 or more for fancy versions that don't work any better. One important note, creatine pulls water into your muscles, which is part of how it works. This means you need to drink more water throughout the day. Aim for at least 8 to 10 glasses. This isn't a side effect, it's the mechanism. Your muscles are literally becoming more hydrated and therefore stronger. Some people gain 2 to 4 pounds in the first week of creatine use. This is water weight in the muscles, not fat, and it's a sign that the creatine is working. Extra muscle hydration also helps prevent cramping and improves muscle endurance. The fourth addition is leucine, an amino acid that acts like a master switch for muscle growth. As you age, your muscles become less sensitive to protein, a condition called anabolic resistance. You could eat a steak and your muscles might barely notice. Leucine flips the switch that tells your muscles to start building even when other signals are weak. It's the most important of the three branch chain amino acids, BCAAs, for muscle synthesis, accounting for nearly 80% of the muscle building signal. Here's the science. Leucine activates something called mentor mechanistic target of rapamine, which is the primary pathway for muscle protein synthesis. Think of Mentor as the foreman at a construction site. Without the foreman, all the workers' other amino acids just stand around. L-leucine brings the form to work. Studies show that older adults need more leucine than younger people, trigger the same muscle building response, about 3G per meal, compared to 1.5G for younger adults. This is called the leucine threshold, and it's significantly higher in people over 60 due to anabolic resistance. Research from the University of Texas found that adding 3G of leucine to a beverage increased muscle protein synthesis by 33% in adults over 65, even with minimal protein intake. When combined with the coffee's natural ability to improve nutrient uptake, the effect is even more pronounced. But here's what's fascinating. Leucine doesn't just trigger muscle building, it also prevents muscle breakdown. It inhibits the ubiquitin proteasome pathway, which is responsible for breaking down muscle proteins. So you're simultaneously building up and preventing breakdown. A double win for muscle preservation. Leucine also has a unique relationship with insulin. While it doesn't spike blood sugar, it does trigger a small insulin release, which helps shuttle nutrients into muscle cells. This insulin response is actually beneficial for muscle building, as insulin is an anabolic hormone. Combination of leucine triggered insulin release and the improved insulin sensitivity from coffee creates an optimal environment for muscle growth. Additionally, leucine has been shown to increase mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new cellular power plants, which improves muscle endurance and energy production. Add 2.5 to 3G of leucine powder to your coffee. It has a slightly bitter taste that actually complements coffee well, similar to the pleasant bitterness of dark chocolate. If you find it too bitter, add a small amount of stevia or monk fruit sweetener. Take it with your first cup of coffee to activate muscle building for the entire day. The effects of leucine on mTOR last about 3 to 4 hours. So if you drink coffee twice a day, consider splitting the dose. Some people also add 500 mg of HMBBB, a metabolite of leucine, for additional muscle preservation, especially if they're dealing with significant muscle loss. This next addition might already be your spice cabinet. Salon cinnamon. This isn't just for flavor. Cinnamon is one of the most powerful insulin sensitizers available. Remember how I mentioned your muscles become insulin resistant with age? Cinnamon helps reverse that resistance, allowing nutrients to enter your muscle cells again. The active compounds called cinnamaldehyde and proins work by activating insulin receptors and improving glucose transporter glut for translocation to cell membranes. Studies show that just half a teaspoon of Salon cinnamon daily can improve insulin sensitivity by up to 20%. When your muscles are insulin sensitive, every gram of protein you eat is more likely to build muscle rather than be wasted. It's like upgrading your body's efficiency rating. A study from Pakistan found that people with insulin resistance who consumed 3G of cinnamon daily for 4 months showed not only improved insulin sensitivity, but also increased lean muscle mass even without exercise. The researchers theorized that better insulin sensitivity allowed for better protein utilization. But cinnamon does something else crucial for muscle health. It improves blood flow. The compounds in cinnamon help dilate blood vessels through nitric oxide production, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. This is especially important if you're not exercising, as your muscles still need that nutrient delivery to maintain themselves. Cinnamon also has anti-inflammatory properties, reducing the chronic inflammation that accelerates muscle loss and aging. It specifically inhibits NF-κB, the same inflammatory pathway that turmeric affects, making them a powerful combination. Add a 1.4 to half teaspoon of Salon cinnamon to your coffee. Make sure it's Salon cinnamon. Cinnamon verum, not cassia cinnamon. Cinnamon cassia as Salon is safer for daily use. Cassia contains high levels of coumarin, which can be harmful to the liver in large doses. Salon cinnamon contains only trace amounts of coumarin, but has all the beneficial compounds. Adds a pleasant sweetness without sugar, and actually makes the coffee taste like a gourmet drink. You can also make a cinnamon-infused coffee by adding a cinnamon stick to your coffee grounds before brewing. Here's exactly how to prepare your muscle-building coffee. Maximum effectiveness. Start with 8 to 10 ounces of freshly brewed coffee. Medium roast is ideal as it has the highest antioxidant content. While it's still hot, add 1/1/5 g of collagen peptides, stirring until dissolved. Add 1 tablespoon of MCT oil slowly while stirring to prevent oil separation. Add 5 g of creatine monohydrate and 2.5 g of leucine. Stirring thoroughly, sprinkle in 1/4 teaspoon of sal and cinnamon and stir again. Finally, add a squeeze of lemon or open a 500 microgram vitamin C capsule into the mixture for collagen synthesis support. Drink this within 30 minutes of waking up, ideally before eating anything else. This timing is crucial for several reasons. Your muscles are most receptive to nutrients after the overnight fast with insulin sensitivity at its peak. Cortisol levels are naturally highest in the morning, and the nutrients this coffee help channel that cortisol toward muscle preservation rather than breakdown. The coffee helps activate your metabolism while the additions provide the building blocks and signals for muscle growth. The synergistic effect of all ingredients taken together is greater than taking them separately throughout the day. Follow this coffee with a protein-rich breakfast about 30 minutes later. The combination of the muscle-building coffee and follow-up protein creates a honnêtewo punch that maximizes muscle synthesis. Aim for at least 30 jas of protein in this meal. Even something simple like 3 eggs with Greek yogurt will work perfectly. The leucine from the coffee has primed your muscles to respond to this protein intake, making it up to 50% more effective for muscle building than protein alone. Do this every single morning for at least 8 weeks to see significant results. Take photos and track simple metrics like how many times you can stand from a chair in 30 seconds. Aim for 12-15 repetitions. Grip strength using a dynamometer or arm circumference measurements. Keep a journal noting energy levels, sleep quality, and any activities that become easier. Many people are surprised to find improvements in areas they didn't expect, like better balance, improved mood, and clearer thinking, all related to improved muscle health and the brain benefits of these supplements. Tomorrow morning, when you brew your coffee, you have a choice. You can drink it black and continue watching your strength fade, or you can add these simple ingredients and start rebuilding. Your future self, the one who can still carry grandchildren, open jars, and live independently, is waiting for you to make that choice.